Well, we made it through that last dumpster fire of a field and are on to way better barley here. So, weird deal that I think just hit the heat, the late germination timing, and it was all very even and stooled out, and it just burnt up pretty much. But we're on to better barley here. This is way better quality stuff. And I was going to show you guys this Falcon Stripper header that we got and how much we're enjoying that so far. So we've had a Shellborn, a CVS 32 Shellborn now for 6 years, I think. We updated our header this year and bought a new Applequist Falcon. That's a 36-foot header, and then put head sight on that as well, which if you ever buy a stripper header, don't get it without head sight, at least in my opinion. We just picked the wheels up on this thing and it just floats, as you see here, on the ground. So it really takes the shock out of that header hitting the ground. It might only hit the ground once every couple passes, where if you're trying to do it by hand, it's all the time. And anyways, amazing technology that I'm going to walk you through in this combine. I was able to hop up in there and give Wendy a break for a second. So I'll show you how that works. Awesome stuff with that Falcon Stripper header. One note on that, we hooked it on this 8250 combine. When you do that, you tip the feeder house all the way back. We had left the skid plates in the mid position and we wore out one of the skids right away, and then we picked the skids all the way up underneath. We have poly coated skids there, and it's been working perfect now as far as the height off the ground. So if you're running one of these newer case combines and you get one of these Falcon Stripper headers, I would immediately pick those skids all the way up. The other thing we did is we took the legs off. There's collapsible legs on the end of the header where the Shellborn had ones you would take off when you weren't dropping the header on the ground. These legs, you just flipped up underneath there, but we had already worn quite a ways into the metal with the legs left on there that way, so we just pulled those off. So just a couple things on that. Way less maintenance on this header. We don't have the variable speed drive or anything like that that the CVS one had of our Shellborn. This is just a direct belt drive thing, and then you speed the rotor up and down by changing your feeder house speed, because that changes our PTO speed to the header. So if these newer combines where you can control the speed of the feeder house, you can actually ramp the speed up and down on these headers without that snowmobile CVT type clutch too. So here we go. I'm going to show you what all the technology that takes place within this combine. So this header floats all by itself. It's automatic height control with that head sight, which is really cool. And then as the combine gets into heavier grain, it senses more flow coming in there, and it automatically slows the machine down. It also adjusts the sieves and the rotor speed, the fan speed, all of that on its own as it sees issues happening, either with cracked grain or we're losing grain out the combine. So ridiculous technology where it sees the grain on a camera, it adjusts the combine on the go. There's a lot of user input into this to making it work right. And then of course the field view that's kicking the yield back out up into the cloud for us as we go. So pretty cool technology. Well, with that stripper header, lots of good things. So first off, look at all of this stubble that we're leaving here now to catch snow, block the wind. Other thing is that combine is cutting pretty darn good barley. We can cut that at 9 miles an hour and only burn a half a gallon of fuel. So the wear and tear on the combine's a lot less. The amount of stubble that we're able to keep on the field to catch snow, fantastic. And then next year or this fall, even if we were to seed winter wheat into this, there's a remarkable amount of shelter, right? So really cool stuff. You'll see, just like you saw in that video at the beginning with that combine, there's nothing coming out the back basically because all the straw is left here. So it's not having to use the straw chopper. It's not working the rotor really hard to grind straw through it. So you're only burning half, if not less than half of the fuel. And then so much ground cover that's left when we're done here. So that's one of Wendy and I's favorite tools here on the farm. And here she comes. I suppose I better go dump her. But I just had to make a video to show you guys all this technology and the cool stuff with the stripper header.